Look who's here. Happy Sunday, everybody. We're going to come back to and talk with Steve Young from the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel in a minute. Back in a minute. Hey, Steve. How you doing today?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Good. Good to see you as always. Listen, I have a couple of questions for you. Welcome here on a Sunday. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. Considering you just got over a little bit of a dental issue. For those who don't know, Steve, you had a recent dental situation. Would you like to explain?
Yeah, so here I am. I've always been good about my teeth. You know, of course I have some cavities, but aside from that, I've never had any type of dental issues of any type prior to that. So not too long ago, in fact, here's my 3 bottles of medication that I've been taking. One is amoxicillin, one is hydrocodone, and the other one is 800 milligram of ibuprofen as I need it. I really wish I could get that 800 milligram of ibuprofen over the counter because that's got a lot more octane than what you can get over the counter. But and it goes, you know, but that I just experienced my first toothache, and I'm doing a lot better now.
So
Um,
glad.
Me too. I hope I never have to feel that way again. That's a first and last for me. But, I've been taking the medication, doing what I have to. I still got some pain pills left. I only took maybe 3 of those, but the amoxicillin I finished, the ibuprofen, I pretty much finished. But luckily, my dentist was so kind that I was able to go back and get a refill on the amoxicillin and the ibuprofen. So I've got that here. I haven't opened it yet, and I'm not going to touch that unless I absolutely, absolutely, absolutely need it. So that's what I've been dealing with, and I just want to mention too. I had put up a video about it on my side a few days ago, and I got lots of good feedback, lots of good comments, and
Yeah, the
what
folks
is
could be so sweet. They really
yeah,
could
they,
be.
they were, and I just want to say thank you for your kind words, well wishes, and hoping that I'm doing well, and I am. I'm doing remarkably better than what I was dealing with, say, a couple weeks back or so when this occurred. But you know, uh,
I'd like to mention to everyone that unbeknownst to the viewer, and at that time too, unbeknownst to me, Steve was going through some of the throes of that pain. And
oh,
we were recording a show. I didn't even know because you didn't say it because being a gentleman about all this. So imagine you had to deal with being friendly and nice on a show. It's
well,
not easy.
there was a video that you and I had done about the time this was starting to bother me. It was a Tuesday video. I don't and it was bothering me a little bit, but I didn't say anything. I hadn't gone to the dentist yet. I didn't go for any x-rays or anything. But to give you a long story short of what happened to me, and it must have been over time. Somehow, not the on my bottom right hand side in front of the wisdom tooth, over time, what happened is I cracked that tooth. And I have a couple of options, and I am chicken to go to the dentist. I'm not going to lie. The dentist has never really been a favorite place of mine to go.
No.
I have 2 options. I have a choice of either doing a root canal, which is enormous amounts of money, 12, 13, $1,400, and then they would crown it, or just pay the money, pull the tooth, and it be a done deal. What I'm trying to do right now is I need to try to see if I can locate a dentist um, that might be able to do it under my insurance. That way, it's nothing out of my pocket. Luckily, my medication that I have, the three that I have, and then the refill. The only one I couldn't get a refill on was the hydrocodone, but I still got some of those left, and that's understandable. Um, Luckily, my insurance was able to cover that, but the X-ray, no, I had to pay for that out of pocket. Not too bad. They had a special going on, but I took care of that, and but I'm doing a lot better. I know when I eat something, I'm trying to eat more on my left side than I am my right, even though I'm able
Right.
to chew with my right. Um, but it was pretty bad. I was going through every time I turned around, I could barely talk. I had to have something cold, like cold water in my hand to sip and
Yeah.
to kill the pain. I was going through a tray of ice within 15 minutes. I would take a piece of ice, stick it in my mouth to get the pain to go away. It hurt so bad.
Wow. That sounds excruciating,
Oh, it
actually.
was. I mean, I was almost ready to be in tears. It hurt so bad that my feet on the floor was
No,
going.
no, tooth pain is no joke,
No,
no
it's
joke.
not. That, like I said, that's my first toothache ever in my whole life.
And hopefully your last. I know from my lips to God's ear. Steve, I do have another question for you.
Okay.
All right. Now we're going to move away from that.
Hmm.
By the way, for those who don't know, Steve has a channel. It's a random channel, the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel. Check it out. Many times I happen to be on his show, but check it out. No, I'm not always on his show. He also has his own stuff without me on the show, which is really, really nice. I love it. Never know what to expect on your channel, Steve, which is really cool. I love that. But on to the second question. Steve, what is a source? Now, you had asked me this question recently on your channel. I said, you know what? It's only fair that I, if you don't mind, ask you this question.
Hmm.
What is a source of frustration as a content creator? As a content creator, what is your source of frustration?
Well, this is a little bit of a big one, and I just recently had this occur with me on one of my past videos. Not the one that had to do with, about me explaining about my teeth, but there was another one that you and I had done, you know, that had go up the other day. And people have to understand when, especially now, me being in the position that I was in with what I had going on, people need to be patient, just wait it out. But some people, there's a few that want me to be at their beck and call or be right there. When they leave me a comment, they expect me right then and there to drop everything and answer your comment. People need to be more patient. All of the comments that you leave for me, and I mean all of them, will get answered. But you just got to bear with me because please understand too, I've got almost 600 subscribers. So I may get 20, 22, 25 comments show up at one time. I can't go back and answer 20, 25 comments at one
Right.
time. I won't go back and do that. What I'll do is I'll go and look them over and I'll do the shorter ones first, like a little sentence. Those I'll address first to get those out of the way. And then I'll go a little bit more. Now the ones that are more written out, because sometimes I have to go back and think out, how am I going to answer this? I have to think it out a little bit before I can answer you.
Right.
But I only do about 3 or 4 comments at a time. I'm not going
Yeah.
to sit there and do 25 at once. No, it might be an hour or two, it might be 3 hours, it might be 4 hours. But your comment at some point, don't panic, don't get impatient, don't lose your breath. I will answer you. So
So
kind
it
of.
requires, as usual, from anyone like a mutual regard of patience. I try to get mine in, at a certain pace, but sometimes I do things more quickly one day than another day. Maybe I'll get a few phone calls, or I have a family matter, or whatever. My heart would love to like automatically answer comments quickly because I love the viewers, I love the folks,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's just not feasible. It doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean you don't care. It just means that you're not available at that moment in time.
Right. This happened not recent. This is a few months ago. I would say maybe even late last year. This particular subscriber, I don't think is a subscriber of my channel anymore, and that's perfectly fine. But what happened is they had commented to me, and they wrote back and said, Steve, I left you a comment. Did you happen to go over and look at it? Did you see it? So I had gone over and looked at it. I hadn't responded yet, but I looked at it. Well, apparently to this particular subscriber, that wasn't good enough. So then they go back and reply back to they go and send me another one being a little bit insistent. What did you see my comment? Did I did write you blah 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 blah. Okay. I went ahead and took the liberty and I went ahead and answered that. Now that particular subscriber was on the impatient side. You got to give me a chance. I'm not Speedy Gonzalez when it comes to this. I'm not exactly slower than a caterpillar either, but it has to do with the way that my mind comprehends what it sees too. I'm only going to do about 3 or 4 comments at a time, and I'm going to drop back, and then a little later, an hour or two later, I'll go back and do a few more and a few more. It might take me 24, maybe 36 hours. It also depends on how many comments I get too, because
Right.
that does fluctuate. Now, if
Yes.
it's like 5 or 6 or 8, yeah, I could have that pretty much out of the way, you know, in a half a day or so. But if you got 20 in excess of 20 or more, and they don't know that, yeah, it's going to take me a little longer to get to you, but I will.
Yeah, it's just a matter of patience and time. What maybe on time for you may not be perfectly time for the content creator. And honestly, there are many times I've noticed in some on some other places that some people don't even answer comments. Some people don't even respond to comments. So
Yeah,
I take it as a courtesy to respond to comments because I feel that the commenter was kind enough, to comment.
yeah,
So, but it cannot be always exactly on time or that type of thing.
right. Now, what I have learned or come to know about YouTube is as a content creator advances, not so much where I'm at. I'm, like I said, I'm approaching 600. Let's say someone of your subscriber count, or let's say somebody that's got 5, 7, 8 times more, or even 10 times more the subscribers that you do. Those comments that are left become more difficult because then you might wind up with 100, 120, 150, or 200 comments coming at you. Then you do have a real battle on your hands. Then I can understand where it is difficult to go back and answer. The best that you would be able to do at that point, and I'm just giving it an educated guess. The best that you could do at that point is give a thumbs up and a heart. Thumbs up, heart, thumbs up, heart, thumbs up. That way you're showing acknowledgement. That way you're not ignoring the subscriber.
And
It's
some
very,
folks use virtual, like virtual assistants or assistants, literally, to
oh,
monitor and to acknowledge comments. At this time, since I'm still fairly small channel, I still personally,
yeah,
acknowledge comments. But but I do agree with you that it cannot always be very swift manner. The other thing also is that people, sometimes people, they have a lot of great information to offer, and sometimes comments can be a little longer than other comments. So what happens in that case, I will read the comment. I read all of my
Yeah,
comments. I'm just
me too.
saying in my case, but that doesn't mean I necessarily have the time to write back an elaborate answer.
Yeah,
So, but the folks do know that I read it because I put a heart on it, and or maybe a sentence or two.
right. And then if I do now, because I do the same thing, I read them all as well.
Yes.
But like I said, I start off with the shorter comments first, and as they get a little bigger, I'll do them, and then sometimes I'll have a pretty drawn out comment. All right, those are the ones that I might have to take a little bit more time to answer you. I'm trying to take different parts of what you're saying because it's not always within the same thing you're talking about. You'll say one thing, something else. So I have to stop and think, all right, I need to figure out a way to answer this person back than just saying one or two words. So I have to give that one a little more thought. I'd rather
Yes.
I'd rather leave a sentence or two than
Yes.
nothing at all or one or so just be patient.
That's all.
You're
That's all.
going to get answered by me at some point. So don't think that your comment that you leave is going to be abandoned and I'm not going to answer it.
And a good sign that your channel is growing is when the comments grow. What were you going to say, Steve?
Now there are times you can't help the trolls. You're going to have some nasty people on there. Not somebody when I say nasty person, I'm not talking about so much a subscriber. I've got a small little circle of people that are regulars on my channel that I know who they are. And but I'm talking about a troll, or you might have somebody that's not subscribed that might come along and say something rash, something negative, something nasty. You just don't know. I do have the right because all of my comments are held for review until I approve it or delete it. Not everything that comes through me makes my page. It all depends on how it's written. If you write me something brash, nasty, or negative, consider your comment in the trash. I'm not gonna put it up. And I've also learned too, being on here coming up on 3 years in October, I have learned who the trolls are, and which ones are not. So I've gotten a feel for that too.
There you go. Well, Steve, is there anything else you would like to add to this?
No, that's pretty much it. I pretty much said a pretty good amount already, but
Well, I have something to add.
okay.
Congratulations on hitting 400 videos.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I hit 400 finally. Um, you know, now I feel like I'm being recognized for doing something on YouTube rather than just come on here and run my mouth. I'm just, I mean, I don't mean it exactly as you hear it, but you kind of,
I absolutely figured it out. Steve, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to check out Steve's channel, the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel. It's a random channel. Many times I'm on it, many times I'm not on it. You never know what he's going to come up with. That's the main fun of it. You just don't know. Like
Mhm.
with me, I'm not putting my channel down, but I am a budget channel. Quick tips. That's cool. No problem. But with Steve's channel, you never know what he's going to come up with. Well, Steve, listen, you have a wonderful, fantastic day. Thank you,
You
folks, for
too.
being here. I really do appreciate everyone's time. But don't forget to do the following. And with that, have an amazing, fantastic day. Bye bye, everyone. Bye, Steve.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Chan.
Bye.